If you have a little bit more space under your hoop, try these low bar under the hoop poses.
Like Karina mentioned, we're doing a lot of shapes on the bottom bar, so it's a really fun low bar flow. We do some classic shapes like the candlestick that everybody loves, except if you're doing it without spin. Yeah, then we hate it.
Or without socks.
Or without socks. Yeah, wear socks for this routine.
Yeah.
Remind me to tell them to wear socks for this routine.
Remember to tell them to wear socks for this routine.
Wear socks for the routine. Remind me to tell you later to wear socks for this routine.
Yes.
Yeah, but the shapes are really nice. We do a nice little easier flare entry than like a full flare, but it looks like a flare. So if you have enough space to do this, I think you'll love giving it a try. And if you can't do some of the shapes, I think it's kind of easy to make modifications for it, like the entry and also the exit.
Yes. Our hoop is like, for me, it's about my shoulder height, and for Taylor, it's like around
my
her
chest
area. Yeah. I think if your hoop is anywhere lower than that, you probably will have a harder time doing the poses on the bottom bar, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, and instead you can check out one of our other routines and try those. Maybe I'll just leave the playlist up here for you for that.
Yeah.
Before we start, let's do a quick safety check. Let's start by checking our equipment, make sure everything is okay with your rigging and stuff. Make sure that you have a crash mat. Don't practice without one under any circumstances. Make sure that you warm up well and cool down well before and after you practice aerial. If you're looking for warm-up ideas, you can find them in the playlist, which we'll leave right up here. So if you haven't warmed up yet, go do that first and then come back to this video to try it with us. Make sure you're wearing the right clothing. Aha, remember, wear socks for this routine. Make sure that you wear socks. If you're not used to candlestick, which is where you have your foot against the bar and you're holding yourself up with just your legs. Also, if you don't like the feeling of like the hoop against your skin, opt for leggings. We're doing a lot of things where we're moving our legs against the bottom bar. Just make sure like especially your upper thighs are covered. And then make sure that you have your spotting buddy. Make sure you have someone to train with so they can be your GPS in the air and your cheerleader. And if something happens, they're there to call someone or assist you.
Unfortunately, you cannot see the music for this routine synced up in this video. This is a tutorial video where we teach you how we do the poses, how we transition between poses, and we share the tips that helped us learn it, and the things that we hope that you don't do at home, which would make your life easier, like the wearing socks thing.
Yes,
you know, so we share these with you so that when you give it a try, you don't have to deal with all of these things that we already dealt with, so you guys can have an easier time when you're learning it at home. But if you want to see it synced up to the music, we did leave a short for you right up here. We also always welcome you to come back to the channel on Friday when we post a YouTube video that shows both of us doing the same routine to the music. It's synced up to the music, but it also helps because you can see two people do the same routine and see that some of it might look a little bit different. So for instance, when Taylor does one part of the routine, she does on one side and I do on the other side. It's just how our body is moving, how we are used to moving on the hoop, and that's fine. We're still doing the same thing. We still end up in the same place. It's like when you solve the equation,
you use the
wrong formula. You get the right answer. Yeah, so it's fine. We do break down how it is that we do it, but if you find that another way is easier for you, then just do that, you know. Do whatever is easier for your body and whatever your body is easier to adjust to. So come back to the channel on Friday, watch that so you can see both of us do it. And as always, we'll leave you a link to the song that we use along with the timing in which we get started down in the description below so that you can know exactly what song we're using, what version of the song we're using, and when we're getting started.
Now that we've covered everything, let's get started.
So she is going to get started standing on the side of the hoop. So she's standing on the side, she's facing the hoop, and her right hand is going to hold on top. She's holding in a twisted grip on top, and her left hand extends out and holds the bottom bar. So on top, she's holding at about between 1 and 2 o'clock, and at the bottom, she's holding at about 7 o'clock.
1:30.
1:30. I want 1:30. At 1:30 o'clock. Now let's take a look at her legs. So she's going to step her left leg out from, so she's going to step that left leg in front of the rigging point. This allows her body to have enough space to add spin. If her left leg is behind the rigging point, it's going to cause the hoop to swing a lot. So we don't want that. So you need to make sure it goes in front of the rigging point. So I think a little bit more in front, Taylor. Yes. Now she's going to take that right leg and she's going to swing it backwards, and she's going to pivot off of that left leg as she holds this spin for a bit. Once she has enough spin, she's going to lift both legs behind her. She's going to flare her legs and straddle and hook her right leg inside of the hoop to come into a hip hang. When she comes into a hip hang, she's going to bend her knees and hold here while making sure she keeps her right hand holding high. So you're in this hip hang, you're going to bring your legs over to the other side, keep them together as you bring them over to the other side, and reach that lower hand high up on the hoop. Try to hold as close to the span set. Pull your body up to come into this crescent moon here. Now, after the crescent moon, you're going to hold on to the hoop in front of you and roll your body out. So you can choose either side that you want to roll. Taylor, you can choose your side that you want to roll. Okay, so she's going to roll towards her left, and she's going to extend that left leg and bring the right leg in and hook it on the hoop on the left side. So she's going to hook both legs there and release her hands so she can do this candlestick pose here. When you're spinning, it's a lot easier to release both hands. Then she's going to take the leg that is on top. So for her, it's her left leg. She's going to release it and hook the right leg at the knee and bring that left leg in front of the hoop and hook the ankle as close to the right leg. And she's going to let her body come down to hold this pose here. When she is here, she's going to reach for the hoop on the outside of her leg that is hooked on the knee. So that is on the outside of her right leg, and she's going to release that left leg and hook her elbow on the bottom bar, and she's going to turn that right hip out to hook her foot on the bar so she can do this pose here. She's going to hold here before she releases that leg and comes to a little elbow hang here. You don't have to do the elbow hang. If you don't want, you can also hold on back to the hoop as you release that leg to just reduce the impact of your body on your elbow, especially if you're not able to hold your body weight on the elbow.
That was so much fun. If you enjoyed this and you want to try another routine that does some more bottom bar shapes, also doesn't require as much height on your bottom bar, but still has a fun lasso variation and also feather poses, stuff like that, check out the routine that we're leaving on screen for you. We'll leave the dance video on top and we'll leave the tutorial at the bottom. And until next time, bye!